Journal Entry 25, Recruitment Duty. The following day we started our recruitment in Hoelbrak. We split up into two groups, one heading for the Mute and the other went marching around Hoelbrak in search of candidates. Arkan seemed really enthusiastic about his new task, and I think he managed to recruit 2 or 3 people. I told him he should consider switching career, but he replied he liked battle too much. I think that might be the reason why he goes along so well with Char and Norn and other people. They like combat for what it is in itself. I see it merely as a means to accomplish something else. They strive for it. I use it as a last resort. Knight Fleshstone called me up and told me that she had been given the task of deciding proper punishment for Carr, and she wanted to hear my thoughts on the matter. I almost told her to hang her from the ceiling in the hall and let her rot until the bones fall down on the floor. That is what she would have got in Divinity's reach, but I held my tongue. I knew it was not going to happen anyway. They seem to be getting closer by the day. I guess they have the lust for blood and battle in common. So I told her what I told War Master Wilhelm, that she is a liability and we will be better off without her. The knight did not say anything, as usual, so I guess that Carr will be polishing armor for maybe a day or 2. We left for the grove the same evening. It was nice to leave the cold, but the tree home of the Sylvari is too confusing to walk. We found our way to the vigil shelter and set camp. The next day we started recruiting. Once again I found myself walking around looking for possible recruits. This time it was only me, Knight Fleshthorn and Carr. I do not even want to get close to her, so I slacked a little. Was looking at her walking only a dozen cubits away. It would have been so easy. She never seems to care for what is behind her. I could have put an arrow in her head, just where the skull meets the neck, and she would never have felt a thing. Nothing survives that. The temptation was almost unbearable, and I found myself fingering the arrows more than once. But before I did anything I would have come to regret later on, Knight Fleshstone called me to the front and told me to lead. Maybe she sensed something was wrong. I have to watch out for that later maybe, but I obeyed like the mindless soldier I have become. Looking over my shoulder I could see Carr walking right behind me. Tried to pace up to put a little distance between us, but to no avail. After finding nothing more than multiple nursing grounds for their young ones, we went back to the vigil shelter, where we briefed the tactician about our failure to find any recruit, and she then dismissed us for the evening. Tomorrow we will go to Divinity's Reach, so I and Fredrickson went to take a bath to tidy up ourselves before returning to our hometown. When we came back to our tent I found a cake with a note from Niwi, where she apologized for her behavior. I threw the note into the fire and gave the cake to Fredrickson. He seemed to like it, so I will tell Niwi it was delicious if she asks. As far as I am concerned, she has already proven herself to me. Darren too, for that matter. And most people. I despise them. But I will continue to smile in their faces, take their insults and swallow their bitter comments about me, follow their orders, act like I care. I will show them later. They have not seen anything yet.